Hey guys, Bushcraft 412 here. Let's talk about how lethal the 22 long rifle is. Let's get the trolls all riled up today, because you know what, guys? I've been getting like massive troll activity lately, and I'm just in a mood to piss off some trolls tonight. Let's talk about this little round, the 22 long rifle. One of the smallest rounds out there, probably the weakest round you can get for a rifle or pistol, but extremely deadly. And why is it extremely deadly? Well, because it is. It's a bullet. It can kill you. Plain and simple. Now, the problem with America and the problem with the gun community is that we have a gun community full of jackwagons. And what they do is they sit around on forums all day talking about, basically patting themselves on the back about how the guns they bought are so awesome and why they're so awesome and how everybody else's guns suck. Well, that's us. We're Americans. We are, unfortunately, pretty stupid. And in this, back patting and self-congratulations, we tend to put down the 22 long rifle. Why? Because it's the smallest one out there. If you don't have a 45 ACP or a 44 mag, you're wasting your time. Someone's going to come in and kill you and rape your wife if you don't have a big caliber gun. And that kind of stuff gets all over the forums, and then people start spouting it out on their YouTube videos, and then trolls are all over my videos saying I'm an idiot for recommending a 22 and yada yada yada. And sorry guys, I'm not into bullshit. I kind of believe in the truth and looking at things honestly and putting out honest information, not stuff that makes me look cool to my viewers and not stuff that makes me look like I'm better than people or I know more than people. No, I just feel like I look at things in a different light than other people, and I look at things honestly. Because I don't care how cool I look in a YouTube video. I don't care what the trolls say. I care about my family and the people that I protect and the people around me. I don't, sorry guys, I don't give a shit about you people sitting there at your little computers in your mom's basement watching this right now. Sorry. So let's talk about this round. How do I know this round is lethal? Number one, because I did this thing called a Google search. And if you look on the FBI website, you will see a lot of people get killed every year by the 22 long rifle. In fact, the 22 long rifle is one of the biggest killers of all cartridges in the world. Minus military cartridges, probably like the 30-06 and the 7.62 x 39 and the 5.56 NATO. This is probably the deadliest cartridge in the world. Why is that? Not because it's a deadly cartridge, but because of the quantity of these guns that are out there. 22s are the most popular gun, the most popular cartridge, and a lot of people use them, and a lot of people use them in crimes. Therefore, a lot of people get killed with them. Now, the 22 is not anywhere as lethal as a 9mm or a 45 ACP. There's not as much energy. In fact, I think a 45 ACP has almost 10 times as much energy as a 22 long rifle. But does that matter? Well, it can. And let's look at why the bullet kills you. Let's forget about all this stupid bullshit that the trolls talk about with the stopping power and all that, because that stuff's subjective. It's in your head. Let's talk about how a bullet really kills you. Number one, a bullet can kill you by hitting a major organ, like your brain, your spinal column, your heart, your lungs, and that bullet causes enough trauma for that organ to immediately stop working. Instant kill. Lights go out. Is it possible with a 22 long rifle? Hell yes. Is it a certainty? No, it's not a certainty because it's a small round and it doesn't have a ton of energy. Now let's look at another way the bullet kills you, and that is through bleeding. The bullet goes through your body, leaves a hole, and in that hole, if it passes through vital organs like your kidneys or liver or spleen, and it passes through blood vessels or arteries or whatever, it's going to cause bleeding. That bleeding can cause you to die. Another way it can kill you is shock. You get shot, your body goes into shock, it starts shutting down. That can kill you as well. It's not as prevalent, but still can. And maybe, hopefully guys, someone like MD Prepper, someone with some medical experience, can chime in with a video response and talk a little bit more on this with his his expertise, but because I am not medically trained, but just kind of speaking, just based on kind of common sense here, the bullets can also kill you by long-term effects, such as like an infection or septic shock or whatever. There's lots of ways the bullet can kill you, but typically an instant kill is going to involve the bullet causing trauma to vital organs that causes them to immediately shut down. Preferably, the brain or spinal column will be the quickest. I don't care what anyone says. I've never in my research come across a single case of anyone being shot with a .22 long rifle in the brain, in the spinal column, or in the heart and have them continue fighting. I've never read a single documented case. Now, I've read cases of people being shot with .22s 7, 8, 9, 10 times and continue to fight, but they were not hit in vital organs. They're hit in the arms, the legs. And for some reason, I don't know what it is about people in crime and people getting shot in the ass, but it seems to happen so much, you know. Maybe it's people running away, I don't know. But I see those. I see people living from that and staying in the fight. But even then, that's the exception. I'd say, if you were to take 100 gun cases, 90 of those people who are shot with just one of these little guys, just one of these little bad boys, 99% of them probably give up the fight, stop fighting, run, hide, lay on the ground, cry to mama, whatever it is they're going to do. Just one of these little guys. I'd say 90% probably do that. 10% of those people, maybe they're enraged on drugs or whatever, are going to be able to take a bunch of these and keep on fighting. You know, the adrenaline's pumping, etc., etc. But those same people are known to take higher calibers and brush them off as well. So it's not so much the caliber that causes this, but the person's state when you're shooting them. I think if you have somebody who's not committed to a crime, like say some stupid kid breaks into your home and you shoot this stupid kid with a .22, he's likely going to run and hide. You shoot that kid with a .45 ACP, he may drop dead in your living room. Who knows? Now, on the other spectrum, a deranged lunatic high on PCP breaks into your house. You shoot him with a .22, he may just come charging at you and kill you. But if you shoot him with that .45 ACP, he may still come charging at you and kill you. Shot placement and the ability to put multiple shots on target in a big hurry are very important. And the .22 can be a great round because if you are new to guns, or maybe you are a smaller person, or you have medical issues, and guys, you know what? This is what I hate about friggin' trolls. Everybody thinks a troll, because maybe, you know, a certain troll is military, ex-military, he thinks that everybody else is ex-military, in great shape, and capable of handling a .45 ACP. Get over yourself, guys. Not everybody is capable of handling a .45. There are people out there who have injuries. Some of my guys, some of my subs are injured vets. They were injured fighting for this country, and they can't shoot a .45 anymore. They've hurt their arms. They've hurt their nerves. They have nerve damage. They can't do it anymore. They need a smaller bullet. And you guys sit there and you mock the .22 and mock the .22, and you make these people feel like they can't protect their family, and that's bullshit. Likewise, there are people, you know, you get an 80-pound girl, she may not be able to handle a .45. You get an elderly man or a woman, they may not be able to handle that. The .22 has a good influence in the world of defense because almost anybody can shoot it. And that's what's so important about it is, you know, you people just sit in your little armchairs and talk shit about what people used to defend themselves with, but you never think about other people. You know, so take that, trolls. Ha! Bushcraft 412-1, use 0. Alright, but let's get back to this. You know, let's look at the world of poaching. Most poachers use the .22 long rifle. Why do they do it? Because it's quiet, and they can shoot things at relatively close distances with less risk of getting caught. If you look and you do research on poaching, you will see, and you are free to Google this, that there are probably thousands of documented cases of people taking deer with the .22 long rifle. I've been able to look up and find multiple cases of people poaching bear with the 22 long rifle. And I've been able to find 2 articles talking about people poaching moose with the 22 long rifle. This round is very lethal. It can take down a bear, it can take down a moose. One of my subscribers mentioned in another video via comment that he found some documentation about an African guide that poached elephants with a 22. I've been trying to find some information on that, but I haven't been able to find it. But I did want to mention it because he said there is documentation out there, so that may be true. I can't guarantee it at this point, but if that's the case, we need to stop being, stupid, dumb Americans and put our egos aside and look at this as what it is, a very lethal round that serves a very good purpose for self-defense. Now I want to talk real quick before we go about a couple cases I know that I've seen with my eyes and ears about this cartridge and how lethal this thing really is. The first one is someone I knew personally who got shot and killed. He was 18, 19 years old, and his father, horrible alcoholic, actually shot him in his sleep in his head. The bullet went into his head, it didn't exit, and it killed him instantly. The bullet went in and just turned out the lights. He never woke up, never even stirred in bed, and the kid really didn't even bleed either because it killed him so instantly. He really didn't bleed out. So when they found him, they didn't actually instantly know he was shot. They actually had to really do some investigating to find the bullet hole. And he never, woke from his sleep or anything. And that same guy who killed his son killed himself as well. He actually shot himself in the chest with that same 22. And fortunately, and yes, I do say fortunately, he did not die as quick as his son. He did spend a long time bleeding out. But that's actually, I feel good for him after what he did. So that is one case I know, actually 2, of how lethal of a round this is. Another one's when I worked in a hospital doing security at a level 1 trauma center in an urban area. And I got to see a lot of gunshots in that time, probably between 50 and 100 gunshots. And one of them sticks out, which was a young kid about 15 years old. He was playing around with a gun, thought the safety was on, putting the gun up to his head, pulling the trigger, and it turns out the safety wasn't on, and the bullet came out and glanced off his head. Well, that kid goes to the hospital with this, baloney story how he fell and hit his head and needed a couple of stitches, and meanwhile, while waiting, because that's what happens at hospitals when you just need a couple stitches as you wait for a few hours, he had a subdural hematoma. He had a bleeding in his brain, and the kid slipped into a coma in the waiting room, and he died I think like a day or 2 later. As much as they tried to save him, the kid had a bleed in his brain, and the bullet never entered his skull. It just glanced off it. The shock of that bullet caused a subdural hematoma and killed him. And like I said before, I saw a lot of gunshot wounds come and go. And I'll tell you what, guys, a lot of all those gunshot wounds, there wasn't maybe but 1 or 2 of those people that I had to physically restrain and hold down because they still wanted to fight. Most of those people, and a good portion of those people, mind you, were shot with 22s, are in there crying and screaming and in pain, begging for their mamas, begging not to die, scared. There was only maybe 1 or 2 of those people who actually had to be held down, who wanted to get up and fight and continue going on, and it's a rarity. So when you use this round, guys, that urban legend that the guy is going to just laugh off the bullet and come over and kill you, that's the rarity. It's not the normal. The normal is someone takes one of these bullets, they're getting out of the fight. They're running, they're hiding, they're falling to the ground. The rarity are those drug addicts and lunatics who are going to keep coming. But you have a 10-round clip, and if you empty a 10-rounder into someone and you're aiming good and you hit some vital organs, odds are their strength, they're not going to have the strength to put up much of a fight at that point. And if they do, these guys are so whacked out on drugs, you're probably not going to win anyway if they can take 10 bullets and keep coming. So my thing is the 22 long rifle, it's a great round for self-defense because there's some people who that's all they can afford. There's some people that's all they can handle because of illness or injury or age. And then, there's just that fact, guys, that it's a killer round. It's going to take you out, and unless you subscribe to that bullshit that people pass around on the forums about how their brother's cousin's uncle's sister who was banging their brother told them about this guy who survive, 20 bullets in them. Those are the rarities. Those are the urban legend. They're not the truth. You look up real stories and real stories of shootings, you find that most people, after 1 or 2 bullets, are done, out of the fight, running home to mama. So, forget about the bullshit, guys. Forget about all that, egotistical back patting. I got a 45 ACP, ha 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 ha, I'm so badass bullshit. The 22 is perfectly fine. It is very lethal. It will kill a moose. It will kill a bear. It will kill a deer. And it will kill you. So, hope you guys enjoyed. This is Bushcraft 412 with the lethality of the 22 long rifle.